Good evening, I'm Andrew Chang.
And I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Tonight, an Alberta First Nation searches for answers after making a traumatic discovery.
The mass grave had numerous children-sized skeletons wrapped in white cloth.
What they say they've found, what they've discovered since, and the call for help from the federal government.
Also tonight,
hate will not prevail.
We're in Buffalo as the U.S. president turns consoler-in-chief, but people there are looking for more.
Please, Mr. President, please do all you can with the power of the presidency of the United States of America to ban assault weapons.
A rash of carjackings in and around Toronto, and the latest high-profile victim leaves forward Mitch Marner.
Obviously, that's really scary. I'm just glad he's okay.
And a rivalry for the ages. The Battle of Alberta is about to hit the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
This is The National.
Another shameful story emerged today as Canada struggles to come to grips with its history of residential schools.
As the Pope prepares to visit this country and meet with those who survived the residential school system, an Alberta First Nation revealed today the trauma it has lived with for nearly 20 years. During that period, the human remains of children were repeatedly found in a graveyard near the site of a former residential school. Some of them were improperly buried in what appears to be a mass grave. It all happened at the Saddle Lake Cree Nation in central Alberta.
Julia Wong was there today as the First Nation investigators talked about what they've found and the terrible impact on their people.
The former Blue Quills residential school in northern Alberta was notorious.
The institution was rife with violence, illness, starvation, abuse, and death.
Members of the nearby Saddle Lake Cree Nation say they've been finding human remains since the mid-2000s. The remains were in a community graveyard, but not in coffins.
The accidental excavation occurred while our community members were digging graves.
Community members did not know what they were, so put them back in the ground. But over the years, they've interviewed others who had found remains and searched records. They don't know how many people's remains they have found, but say church burial records show 212 children between the ages of 5 and 11 were buried on site from 1898 to 1931. It's not clear how they died. The diocese says the records are for the parish, not the residential school. Investigators say one of the accidental excavations revealed what appeared to be a mass grave, possibly because of a typhoid outbreak.
What was excavated were the children-sized skeleton remains such as skulls, femur bones, leg bones, arm bones, rib cages, and spines. The mass grave had numerous children-sized skeletons wrapped in white cloth.
In the last few years, what's believed to be unmarked graves have been discovered across Canada using ground-penetrating radar. Community members say these revelations at Saddle Lake Cree Nation are further proof that children were buried without proper care and respect.
It's a huge discovery for us because a lot of the younger generation didn't know about this sort of stuff.
For myself, I was shocked.
The First Nation wants funding from the federal government for mental health support and for ground-penetrating radar devices.
We've disclosed to them that there were accidental excavations, and we haven't received anything, nothing at all.
Indigenous Services Canada and Crown Indigenous Relations say the findings shared today result from this shameful part of our country's history. It says the Saddle Lake Cree Nations has received more than $7 million over the past 3 years in mental wellness funding, but members say they've been historically underfunded.
We have a lot of descendants, and we have a big community that requires these supports.
Supports they say will be crucial to let them process and heal. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
And support is available for anyone affected by residential schools. There is a 24-hour national crisis line. The number is 1-866-925-4419.
Now, reconciliation is a theme on the royal tour that got underway in Canada today. On this, day one, Prince Charles and Camilla met with residential school survivors in St. John's. Tom Stagel shows us how the day unfolded.
Touching down for a 3-day trip stretching nearly 5,000 kilometers, Prince Charles and Camilla got a warm Newfoundland and Labrador welcome. Greeted by the Governor General, Prime Minister, and Premier, and eager crowds who'd come to see the next King and Queen Consort.
They're pretty much Newfoundland's own kind of thing. They always come here to get big crowds.
Prince Charles has been to Canada 18 times before, but perhaps never at a time with this much spotlight on him as the king in waiting and with so much scrutiny of the remnants of British colonialism.
Charles is pledging to listen to and learn from Indigenous peoples.
We must find new ways to come to terms with the darker and more difficult aspects of the past.
Innu elder Elizabeth Panashaway said a prayer in Innu Aimun. 25 years after greeting the Queen in Labrador inside her tent. Now, she told us, I'm happy to meet another member of the family.
My mom always had magazines, always had pictures of the Queen and Prince Charles, and she still does have a lot of respect for the royal family.
Charles came face to face with his own Canadian-made wool bust. And yes, that's the Queen on the right. The visit brings moments of reflection too, like a stop at the Heart Garden in memory of residential school victims. Later, at the old Kitty Vitty fishing village, a walkabout among locals, not complete without a pint of lager from iceberg water.
I have admiration for him. I'm sure he'd make an excellent king.
Next stop, Ottawa, for the second leg of a tour that will have Canadians considering the country's history and the monarchy's future. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, St. John's.
Now, the Queen hasn't traveled overseas in recent years, but today she ventured further than usual. This was her surprise visit to the opening of a new subway line named after her in central London. Her first appearance outside Windsor in several weeks. She missed the annual Queen's speech to Parliament last week, sending her son, Charles, instead.
Let's turn now to Buffalo, New York, where just days after the mass shooting at a grocery store, U.S. President Joe Biden arrived to grieve with the community. At a makeshift memorial, Biden paid his respects to the 10 victims. In an emotional speech, he condemned the attack as racist and urged all Americans to reject white supremacy. Stephen D'Souza is in Buffalo with the president's message and how it was received.
At the site of Saturday's massacre, President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden added their prayers to those of a community in pain. Later, at a nearby community center, he sought to console family members of the victims. With so many here affected, not everyone was able to meet Biden. Among them, Evelina Anderson. She was inside the grocery store's bathroom, while outside, the shooter hunted black shoppers. The trauma of those moments still cause her to physically shake.
And I hate to say it, but then when a white person comes near you, you're scared because you don't know if they got a gun.
That mental anguish also means she has little time to consider what she'd say to the president if given the chance.
I don't know what I'm doing from day to day right now. I'll just be happy that I'm living.
In the United States.
There were many here, though, eager for action.
Please, Mr. President, please do all you can with the power of the presidency of the United States of America to ban assault weapons.
After meeting the families, Biden, emotional at times, called the attack domestic terrorism.
I promise you, hate will not prevail, and white supremacy will not have the last word.
He attacked the debunked white supremacist ideology that allegedly fueled the suspect's hate.
I call on all Americans to reject the lie, and I condemn those who spread the lie for power, political gain, and for profit.
As those outside listened in, Biden called on all Americans to reject white supremacy.
We can't allow them to destroy the soul of the nation.
But some here worry that soul may be beyond saving.
We've been dealing with this for 400 plus years. I'm not optimistic at all. The only way I'll be optimistic is unless we just tear everything down and start from the beginning.
So, Stephen, people always want to know about concrete suggestions for change. How did the president handle that?
In his speech, Adrian, the president hinted that he'd like to bring back the assault weapons ban, and he also said that they would look at how the internet is exploited to recruit and mobilize terrorism. But interestingly, later at the airport, as he was leaving Buffalo, he said that there's very little he can do when it comes to executive action on guns, and that's up to Congress to act, but he admitted that's going to be very difficult. And just getting back to the speech, he did concede in the speech that it's likely tragedy will strike America again. Adrian?
Indeed. Stephen D'Souza in Buffalo, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, we'll have more on this coming up, including the conversations happening here about anti-Black racism and hate in Canada.
I can attest to the fact that it's just as bad. It's just done in a different form. It's almost a polite racism, if I could say.
The discussions happening in the aftermath of the attack coming up.
Alberta Premier Jason Kenney is in Washington today, where he's selling the U.S. on Canadian oil. As Magda Gabrasalasa shows us, he's making the pitch just a day before he finds out if he is still the leader of his United Conservative Party.
U.S. energy security depends on Alberta.
Alberta to the rescue. That's Premier Jason Kenney's pitch here in Washington as America looks to boost its energy supply.
The solution to the challenges of energy security is your closest friend and ally.
Kenney testified before the Senate's Committee on Energy and Natural Resources, just a day before the results of his party's referendum on his leadership are to be released. His pitch, as demand for energy soars and gas prices spike, come to Canada for oil and gas, instead of going to countries like Saudi Arabia or Venezuela.
The energy is needed. The same president is pleading with OPEC dictatorships to send Americans more oil. And we're your friendly Democratic neighbor.
He also pushed to build another pipeline, even though President Joe Biden killed the Keystone XL pipeline project. West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin agrees.
We need that pipeline. Pipe is by far the best, cleanest environmental way to transport.
Another pipeline was at issue.
Certainly we have invoked the treaty.
Canada's Minister of Natural Resources appeared virtually and raised concerns over ongoing calls to shut down the Enbridge Line 5 pipeline. That carries oil from Western Canada to Eastern Canada via some Great Lakes states. Critics fear there could be an environmental disaster.
This is an important pipeline not just for Canada, but I mean Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
The question now is, will this push in Washington work?
I would say never, depending on the geopolitics, that people may just wake up and say, you know what, the energy transition is going to take longer than we thought. We're going to need oil for longer than we hoped. And if we're going to get it from somewhere, why wouldn't we get it from our neighbors?
The senators at the hearing seem to be listening. Manchin says he'll push the issue with the Biden administration. Magda Gabrasalasa, CBC News, Washington.
Turning now to the ever-rising cost of fuel in this country. Gas prices hitting record highs yet again today, triggering debate in Parliament.
The cost of gasoline is over $2 a liter across this country. That is hurting families. At the same time, these very same oil and gas companies are experiencing massive profits.
To be precise, the average price of regular gas in this country is now $2.06 a liter. It can get much higher than that depending on where you are. St. John's, $2.24. Montreal, almost $2.17. A bit lower in Toronto at just under $2.10. But look at Vancouver, hovering just below $2.31 per liter. And with the Victoria Day long weekend coming up fast, expect them to jump again. Canadians are understandably frustrated. So we brought in senior business correspondent Peter Armstrong to try to make some sense out of this. So Peter, what is going on? What is driving the cost of gas so high?
Adrian, it's mostly just the price of crude oil. Trevor Toome from the University of Calgary put this amazing graphic together. It shows the price of gasoline in May of 2021 and then breaks out what's driven costs up until about now. And sure, taxes and retail and wholesale margins contribute, but look at how much of this is being driven by crude oil prices.
I can probably guess, but who's actually making the money here?
It's the oil companies. Saudi Aramco just posted a $40 billion quarterly profit. But these companies were just clobbered over not just the last couple of years during the pandemic. I can remember filling up my minivan at 65 cents a liter in March of 2020. But it's been years now. Go back to 2014, the last time we saw a big oil price. It rallied again around 2019. Then, of course, the pandemic hit. So look, these big integrated oil companies, they're finally heaving a sigh of relief that at last prices are up and they can make up for those years of low prices.
Last thought, get out the crystal ball. How long are we in this for?
Fact is, we don't know. But when demand collapsed during the pandemic, production slowed too. And now we're all going more places. We're doing more things. We're using more gasoline, but we're not pumping more oil to keep up. And look, it's not just the uncertainty of the war in Ukraine and what that means for global oil supplies. Pumping oil means taking extra risks, added environmental costs with no real sense of whether these prices are going to remain high. So experts say don't expect a turnaround in oil prices soon, so you probably shouldn't expect a turnaround at the pumps either.
Okay, well, thank you, I think, Senior Business Correspondent Peter Armstrong.
Ottawa has thrown up another barrier for individuals close to the Kremlin, sanctioned for the war in Ukraine. They can no longer enter Canada. That includes Vladimir Putin himself and top members of his government, as well as hundreds of other close allies, Russian parliamentarians, elites, and their families. The entry ban is in addition to sanctions on financial dealings that Canada has already imposed.
But whatever price Russia is paying for the invasion, it's now poised to claim its biggest victory so far, Mariupol. Once a city of more than 400,000, after 82 days, surrounded, starved, and shelled, it appears Mariupol is on the verge of falling to the Russians, its last defenders in the process of a negotiated surrender. And while some Ukrainians spoke to Briar Stewart, relieved that their fighters could be saved, the fear is what comes next.
For weeks, the wives and girlfriends of Ukrainian fighters have been pleading for their safe release from the besieged Azovstal steel plant. While some men are out now, their loved ones are still stricken with worry and have little information.
I not have contact with my husband 2 weeks. I pray that extraction will be continue.
More than 250 fighters, many of them wounded, were released from the plant, which is Ukraine's last stand in Mariupol. Video released by Russia shows the fighters being searched. Around 50 were taken to a hospital and the rest to a former penal colony, both in areas under Russian control.
Russia hates us. And of course, we don't know what to think and how to feel.
Ukrainian officials say the men are prisoners of war and will be exchanged, but signs that there are no guarantees. Many of the fighters are believed to be from the Azov Regiment, a far-right group part of the Ukrainian National Guard, which Russia accuses of being neo-Nazis. These are war criminals, said the chair of Russia's State Duma. We must do everything to bring them to court. An undisclosed number of fighters still remain in the plant. Irina Kulibaba's fiancé Dmitro joined the Azov Regiment this year, a group which she describes as Ukraine's bravest. She feels some relief because a friend texted her yesterday to say he's uninjured.
Don't worry, he is okay, no problems, just wait.
Where is he now?
I don't know. I don't know now.
Ukrainian officials say the situation is highly sensitive, so they won't release any information, not even to family members. They say negotiations are still underway to secure the release of the fighters in the plant and those now in Russia's hands. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Kyiv.
Ottawa has committed $1.2 billion in aid for Ukraine, but pledging that support is one thing, delivering it is another. Chris Brown got a rare chance to see Canada's Ukrainian airlift up close.
For Canadian aid destined to Ukraine, most flight plans go through rainy Prestwick, Scotland, and our CBC crew was granted rare access to go along for the trip. Here, members of 8-Wing Trenton are moving armaments and humanitarian aid off of a Globemaster aircraft that's just landed from Canada.
Everybody watching the news, so we all know what's going on. We proud to help like the Ukrainian
The next leg of the trip to Poland is by Hercules aircraft, captained by Major Cam Mackay.
We're up to 2 million pounds actually on today's flight, moved with the tactical aircraft detachment since our first mission on the 3rd of March.
And is that a lot?
It's a significant amount for a C-130 to move in the time that we've been here, yes.
8 Wing has flown 80 Hercules missions for Canada's Ukrainian airlift with no end date in sight. Roger. Canada has committed $1.2 billion in military and humanitarian help to Ukraine, and much of it arrives there this way as we are now flying to Poland by military airlift. From there it crosses the border by land, by truck and train, and then onwards to the front lines. Canada has supplied Ukraine with Carl Gustav anti-tank rockets and M777 howitzers, although there's nothing obvious like that on this flight. Russia has said Western weapon shipments to Ukraine would be a legitimate target to attack, but Mackay says he feels the missions are safe.
No, I don't really think about it. The government of Canada has sent us here to do a job, and we're very proud to be doing that job.
In Poland, it's just a quick stop to slide the pallets off the aircraft and get airborne again. Canadian military pilots can fly 120 hours a month. The war in Ukraine has them maxing it out. Chris Brown, CBC News, on a Canadian Hercules over Europe.
Finland took a big step closer to joining NATO with a resounding vote in its parliament. The final tally in support, 188 to 8. A stunning shift for a country that, like Sweden, has long favored neutrality. Both Finland and Sweden are expected to make their formal requests to join the alliance tomorrow.
A little later, we'll visit an apartment building near Kyiv as those who live there return to what's left.
You must have happy memories in this room. Yes. Yes.
Homes in ruins, lives destroyed, and stories of resilience as they pick up the pieces.
Also ahead, outrage over plans for Canada to host Iran in soccer.
They have no sympathy. They have no heart for the families of the victims.
But first, a rash of carjackings in Toronto hits one of the city's biggest sports stars.
It's a pretty traumatic experience. I'm just glad he's okay.
We're back in 2.
The town of Minnedosa, Manitoba, is the latest community in the province to declare a state of emergency due to flooding caused by rain and melting snow. Hundreds of volunteers have helped fill thousands of sandbags along the river. People with homes in low-lying areas are being warned that they may need to leave.
Support is pouring in for Toronto Maple Leaf star Mitch Marner after a shocking carjacking last night. And police say these brazen crimes are climbing sharply across the city. Here's Jamie Strachan.
Back to Marner, walking in, scores!
Toronto Maple Leafs forward Mitch Marner faced a very scary situation off the ice Monday night. He was carjacked at gunpoint.
The effects that it has on a community are profound and one that I can only imagine. But I tell you, they do have lasting, devastating effects.
Police say it happened in the city's West End outside of a movie theater. His black Range Rover allegedly stolen by 3 men. Marner and the woman he was with were unharmed.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
As the Leafs met with reporters after their season ended this weekend, what happened to Marner was top of mind.
Obviously, that's really scary, and you don't wish that happens to anybody. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that stuff happens more and more now.
In Toronto alone, there's been 60 carjackings so far this year, compared to 59 in all of last year.
We're seeing an increase in carjackings where high-end vehicles are stopped by the suspects. There's so many different ways that these are taking place, whether they are followed, whether it's under the guise of a car accident where the victims will get out to check the damage caused by the intentional contact made.
And police in surrounding suburbs say it's happening there too. Police in York Region released dramatic video of several carjackings. In this one, the suspects cause a traffic accident.
Criminals are looking for opportunities to make a profit, right? So they're looking to steal, the most valuable vehicle that they can as quickly as they can to try to sell it for profit.
You don't have to be a sophisticated thief at that.
Experts say it's often easier to target an occupied vehicle than dealing with improved security measures found in many cars.
All you need is a weapon, and whether it's a gun or a knife or just the threat of such, Now you can take somebody's keys and you've got the vehicle. You drive away and you're free and clear.
In Marner's case, police say he did the right thing. He didn't fight or resist because a car is not worth the life. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, there are calls tonight for an upcoming soccer match in Vancouver to be called off. It's between Canada and Iran. Ashley Burke explains.
Iran leads. FIFA recently faced calls to ban Iran's soccer team from competition after this. Video on social media appearing to show Iranian women alleging they were pepper sprayed, prevented from entering a soccer match after FIFA ordered Iran to end its 40-year ban on women attending sporting events. Back across! Now Canada is also facing calls to cancel a soccer game in Vancouver next month.
I feel betrayed by the organization here in Canada, betrayed by the government. That's her team and that's Rira almost 3 years ago.
Hamid Ismailian says his 9-year-old daughter Rira loved playing soccer. 2 years ago, she was killed along with her mother Parisa on board Flight 752. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps shot down the plane with surface-to-air missiles. 85 Canadians and permanent residents died. CSIS says since then that same regime has threatened, intimidated, and harassed victims' families. Now Canada Soccer has invited Iran's team to a friendly match.
I think they have no sympathy. They have no heart for the families of the victims.
Iran run out comfortable winners. In Iran, sports are tied into politics and the Revolutionary Guard, according to this journalist and activist.
The regime using sports as a political tool to show the rest of the world that this is a normal regime.
It's entirely inappropriate for that match to take place in British Columbia.
The Prime Minister wouldn't say if the government has granted visas to those traveling with Iran's team, but said this.
I think it wasn't a very good idea to invite the Iranian soccer team here to Canada, but that's something that the organizers are going to have to explain.
In a statement, Canada Soccer said it believes in the power of sport to bring together people from different backgrounds and political beliefs, but victims' families called that a slap in the face. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
The mass shooting in Buffalo, New York was only a short drive from the Canadian border, and its impact is being felt in this country as well.
Even though it's happened in the U.S. and we're here in Canada, it really does transcend borders.
Coming up, reflections from 3 Canadians after an attack driven by racist hate. Plus,
it's all my life, and now it's destroyed.
Coming up, how some Ukrainians are trying to pick up the pieces after losing everything.
I will never forget. I can't forget. This is my community. This is where
that is the mayor of Buffalo, New York, reflecting on the impact of Saturday's mass shooting. 10 people were killed by a white gunman at a grocery store in a predominantly black neighborhood. Police say the gunman scoped out the grocery store and focused on finding black victims. This has reignited conversations around anti-black hate and racism, not only in the U.S., but also here in Canada. Tonight, we hear from 3 members of the black community in Ontario who say it is time for change.
My name is Timothy Bryan. I am assistant professor in the Department of Sociology at the University of Toronto. I first heard about the Buffalo shooting late Saturday night. I thought, here we go again. I'm feeling like this is an incident that gets replayed over and over, unfortunately, that occurs over and over, and that families, black families, families of color, racialized communities have to constantly endure.
My name is Sherry Darlene, and I live in the Niagara region. I'm a U.S. citizen landed in Canada, and most of my family is there. I first heard about the shooting via a phone call from a concerned friend knowing of my ties to Buffalo, saying, you need to call and check on your family. Quite frankly, anyone in my family could have been in that store. My father frequents there a lot. I did place a phone call to my father, who advised, I said, Dad, the first thing I said was, Dad, did you go tops? And he's like, I was on my way. He said, I stopped by Larry's house, his friend Larry, because they grocery shop together often, to see if he wanted to come. And he said, we just started talking on the porch. We got to talking on the porch, and the next thing you know, we heard sirens.
My name is Dahabo Ahmed Omar. I'm the Executive Director of the Black North Initiative. When I first heard about the shooting, honestly, my heart was absolutely broken. It's almost like an instant sense of grief. And even though we know that these things happen often to Black communities, it's still a shock and it's still a moment of reflection. You know, we talk about anti-Black racism, but there's also anti-Black hate, which is a completely different form of violence that Black communities face. And so even though it's happened in the US and we're here in Canada, it really does transcend borders.
Growing up here since the age of 2, I can attest to the fact that it's just as bad. It's just done in a different form. It's almost a polite racism, if I could say. But it is just as bad, just as traumatizing, just as damaging to Black people. It's hard. It really is.
In Canada, we need to take the issue of white supremacy, racism, anti-Black racism, much more seriously than we have in the past. And we have to stop thinking about them as fringe or extreme and start to think about the fact that they are much more mainstream than any of us would like to admit. Only then, I think, can we start to have an honest conversation that leads to productive change.
You know, what I would like to see done with respect to this type of tragedy is first calling it out, condemning it, speaking about it, making sure that there's language around motivated hate crimes affecting Black people more specifically, and what we have to do to ensure that these communities are safe.
I think we've said it a million times what we need, and it's equality. We just want to be treated equal. We don't seek revenge. We don't need to take over. We don't want power. We just would like equality.
Well, Russia's war on Ukraine has been devastating to civilians, striking at the very center of their lives.
This is where your uncle, this is where he was killed?
Yes.
Coming up, Ellen Morrow gets a look inside the ruins of an apartment building and the impossible job of sorting through the mess. Welcome back. In the space of less than 3 months, the war in Ukraine is estimated to have killed thousands, driven millions from their homes, and turned towns and cities to charred ruins. Ellen Morrow traveled to one such place, Irpin, where survivors pick through the rubble for memories.
The charred ruins of an apartment building in Irpin on the outskirts of Kyiv. Not long ago, this place, 158 Severnivska Street, was home to hundreds. The ordinary lives they lived here now shattered.
This kitchen, this room.
17-year-old Irina Savalieva's apartment was on the 3rd floor. She lived there all her life with her parents, grandma, and uncle.
When you see those pictures, you're probably thinking of what it was like before.
I haven't any words because it was emotions. It was very hard.
Harder still because her uncle was killed in the Russian assault.
So much destruction everywhere. Yes.
Irina takes us inside to see what remains. We have to tread carefully, walking on shattered glass and the debris of her family's broken life.
This was living room. There my uncle live.
This is where your uncle, this is where he was killed?
Yes.
Nothing was salvageable. Every cherished piece of family history destroyed.
And it's my and grandmother's room.
Irina shows us the bedroom she shared with her grandma. These walls used to be filled with family photos.
You must have happy memories in this room.
Yes. Yes.
How do you feel in here right now?
Hard. It's too hard.
Forced from home, Irina and her family are now staying with other relatives. The future feels heavy and uncertain.
It's all my life. And now it's destroyed.
Back outside, Irina struggles to hold back tears as she tries to hold on to what her family has left.
The apartment, and it's very important, but it's not the more important. Nowadays, more important our lives.
Scars of the battle here, fierce fighting to hold back Russian forces intent on taking the capital, are everywhere. Not even the playground behind the building was spared.
Imagine this was your home, the place where you hung up your coat, where you lived and loved, feared and dreamed, and this is all that's left.
Bits of furniture are all Volodymyr Osadchi could save from his family's apartment of 50 years. He shows us his hands stained by the ash.
I curse them for what they have done. Why did they do this to us?
A searing anger shared by his wife Maria as they survey the damage. She's devastated. This is where they raised their children.
I want them to burn in hell, the same way our apartment burned.
They're now moving to a nearby village, a decision forced on them by this brutal invasion. The corner where Raisa and Mikola Pustovit live was less damaged. Still, there's no running water or electricity. So every day, several times a day, they lug these jugs of water up 8 flights of stairs. They used to cook big meals here for their grandchildren. Now what little food they have comes from a nearby donation center. The building isn't safe with so many stories burned out. The windows are broken and there's no heat, but they have nowhere else to go.
Can you understand what it would be like to start your life over at 70? We lived our life, but I still wanted the rest of our years to be worthwhile.
They're relieved to still have their belongings, but their trauma is obvious and painful. They say neighbors were killed by Russian soldiers right in front of them.
There are no words. My soul is aching. We lived through this period of terror. My mind is broken. I don't know how to recover it.
Who will ever recover it?
But halfway through the interview, it becomes clear what keeps them going. Raisa gets up. We don't know why at first, but she's gone to get photos of their grandkids. Instantly, the mood lifts. As they tell us stories of their grandchildren, we get to see what this couple was like before this horrible war. So full of life and joy.
These are beautiful memories.
They also show us pictures of themselves from decades ago, when they never could have imagined this is how their later years would be. We leave them to their memories, hoping somehow, someday, they'll make happy once again.
So, hey, Ellen, you're back now from Irpin, and the desolation there really comes across from the very first moment of your piece. But being there, can you tell us what stood out most for you?
Well, these residents, Andrew, were in that apartment building in the early days of the fighting, terrified, hiding in bomb shelters before they fled. Others, like Irina Savalieva's uncle, tragically did not get out in time. They all told us just how devastating it is to have to tear yourself away from your home. The most powerful moment for me was that switch in emotion at the end of the piece from the Pistovits. To see them come alive and be so happy looking at pictures of their grandkids was really beautiful to see, but it was also heartbreaking because before the war they could have unencumbered joy, but now, as we saw, they really just get to have small flickers of less dark moments.
Ellen Morrow, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
When we come back, a matchup more than 3 decades in the making.
We're through the roof about it, and we can't wait for the Battle of Alberta to start.
Coming up, a tale of 2 cities grips a province in an epic hockey rivalry. Plus,
a 20-hour round trip into a flood zone. An Edmonton woman's long drive to help a friend in need.
welcome back. Canada's Stanley Cup hopes now rest with just 2 teams. And for the first time in 3 decades, the Battle of Alberta is back in the NHL playoffs. Flames versus Oilers, North versus South. Only one will prevail. Aaron Collins sets the stage before tomorrow's puck drop.
Like any battle, preparation is key, but prepping for a Battle of Alberta is something else.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
A rivalry that will fill bars and fire up fans across the province.
Yeah, McJesus looks scary, but Johnny's heating up.
McDavid likes being the underdog, I'll tell you that much.
The owner of this Calgary sports bar happy to cheer against its sister pub in Edmonton.
We're through the roof about it, and we can't wait for the Battle of Alberta to start.
This couple has divided loyalties too, their 2-year-old daughter caught in the middle.
As a woman, a feminist, I feel like it's her choice. She gets to decide who she wants to root for when she's older, obviously.
It's a clash 31 years in the making. 1991, the last time the Oilers and Flames met in the playoffs. The Oilers won that series as they have 4 out of 5 times the clubs have met in the postseason.
They're going to look back on it with some pretty fond memories, but right now they got a job to do. So best of luck to both teams, but maybe just a little more to the Oilers.
Some things haven't changed. Mayors still wager on the outcome.
And I'm very much looking forward to seeing Mayor Sohi wearing the Flames C on his face.
But there are differences too, like the Oilers' shiny new arena, making tickets to the games there the hottest in town. Added pressure for those who have them.
It's felt a little bit like someone read that I'd won the lottery. I've got family that I've kind of emerged and I've forgotten about, friends, of course, customers and employees.
Meanwhile, the teams are back on the ice, prepping for the start of hostilities.
2 cities that are rivals, haven't played since before I was born in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think everybody's excited.
So the countdown is on for one of the biggest rivalries in sport, one that will divide Alberta between Flames fans and Oilers fans, while bringing the whole province together like pretty much nothing else can. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
Well, next, the treacherous journey this Edmonton woman took to help a friend affected by flooding.
Never experienced anything to that magnitude.
Going above and beyond is our moment after this. Well, get a good look at that. This is what an Edmonton woman drove through to dog sit for a friend in need. Intense flooding hit parts of Hay River, Northwest Territories last week, and now cleanup is underway. For Edmonton's Catherine Herron, the need to help was obvious, so she embarked on a harrowing 10-hour drive both ways, battling waterlogged roads to get her friend's dogs out of the flood zone while the owner deals with the mess. Her trek is our moment.
So I left at 5:30 in the morning for the 10-hour drive. So by the time I left and got the dogs in the vehicle and stuff, she was very emotional. And I said, okay, I better get going because I don't know what the road conditions are going to be like just past the falls. When I got there, I was like, oh, this doesn't look too good. I have never experienced anything to that magnitude. The dogs were unsettled because they knew that they had just left their owner. She is my best friend. And knowing that she needed the help, knowing that nobody would actually offer to care for the dogs, I just felt that, you know what, you've always been there for me. It's my turn to return the favor. You do try to assist as much as you can if you're a Northerner. I'm sure that if something like that happened to me, they will be there for me as well.
So Catherine didn't just act quickly. She acted very thoughtfully. She completely packed up her truck with perishables and water for the people in the community.
Right, and apparently everyone's doing as well as they could be. I mean, Catherine knows the dogs very well. She actually lived in the Northwest Territories for quite some time. The dogs know her, and so now they have quite a bit more space to run around, at least until they manage to clean things up north. That's the National for this May 17th. Have a great night.
Good night.